Doom 3 was a pretty divisive game when it came out in 2004, and then the BFG Edition released 8 years later and was even more divisive. Rather than sticking to the fast-paced gameplay of the original two Doom games, Doom 3 was an entirely different beast, and while it definitely wasn't a usual survival horror game, it did contain horror elements. Doom 3 was very atmospheric at the time, and even nowadays, the game is still effective in what it sets out to do. When the BFG Edition dropped in 2012, the inclusion of a shoulder-mounted flashlight was the biggest point of contention. I get it, the original Doom 3 flashlights made the combat more tense, because it wasn't readily available to you and you had to swap it out with your other weapons. Although the light was initially added to the game due to technical limitations, it still added to the game's creepiness. I don't think that the BFG Edition removing the original flashlight is the end of the world though. But then again, I'm not some die-hard Doom 3 fan either. I completely understand the reasons why the shoulder-mounted flashlight doesn't work as well as the original, and I even agree with that opinion, but it doesn't break the game for me. I think the increased amount of ammo pickups in the BFG Edition is a bigger issue, since that directly cripples the game's difficulty, more so than the shoulder-mounted flashlights. Also, the developers going in and neutering some of the sections in the Resurrection of Evil expansion packs felt unnecessary, but I've discussed all those changes in detail in other videos, and I'm here to focus on the Lost Doom 3 campaign. The Lost mission was a new add-on for the BFG Edition as well as the 2019 re-release, and it's without a doubt one of the most underrated expansions in Doom history. Just like the criticisms with the BFG Edition, I completely understand why some fans might get a little turned off by Lost Mission. The Lost Mission does recycle quite a few locations from Doom 3, and the expansion is also way too short for some, but I personally like its tight length. The Lost Mission feels like a Doom 3 highlight reel, and if you want to get a quick dose of what Doom 3 has to offer, play Lost Mission. There's only 8 levels in Lost Mission, which is the length of a standard classic Doom episode, minus the secret level of course. I don't mind this at all, especially because one of my criticisms of the base Doom 3 campaign is that it drags on for a little too long. The pace of the Lost Mission is also very quick compared to regular Doom 3, which I appreciate. If you want to have a slower paced experience, then play Doom 3 or Resurrection of Evil, but if you want to get going right off the bat, then Lost Mission is for you. The Lost Mission was supposedly made up of levels cut from the original campaign, but I call bullshit on this. Why would they reuse assets from the base campaign then? I don't mind that they recycle old areas, but this definitely wasn't cut material. I feel like this is a case of them advertising this mission pack as something more interesting than what it actually is in order to sell the BFG Edition. At least the Lost Mission itself is pretty decent. In this expansion, you play as the last surviving member of Bravo Team. For those who don't remember, Bravo Team made an appearance in Doom 3 where they got attacked by a couple of demons. As you make your way through the expansion, you meet one of the UAC scientists, and you are then tasked to destroy a teleporter that the demons used to get to Earth. So you know, typical Doom 3 stuff. In the first room that you start out in, you're already getting into firefights with demons. From the jump, you are given a machine gun and shotgun to combat the demons, and because it's the BFG Edition, you're already flushed with ammo to deal with them too. The Lost Mission is more about action than giving players scares, but there are some serious Sam-esque enemy spawns when you pick up items that might give you a good jump. This is also the closest Doom 3 has gotten to feeling like a classic Doom game, but that being said, classic Doom is obviously way faster than the Lost Mission. By the second level, the player can access the super shotgun from a gun display, and then the expansion is pretty much cake. Sure, the level tries to counter you with some archvile spawns, but nothing compares to the overpowered super shotgun. The Lost mission might seem a little unbalanced, but I don't mind because it is the second expansion for Doom 3 and players already know what they're doing, so fuck it, let them go nuts. The grabber gun is used for a puzzle early on in the expansion, and then it ultimately never gets used again by me because I'm personally not a huge fan of it. I'm glad it's included though for people that enjoy using the weapon, as well as having most of the enemies from the Resurrection of Evil campaign show up in the Lost mission. There's the obligatory mobile turret robot section, and also you get swarmed by those fucking trites in this expansion, but apart from that, they cut out all the fat from the Doom 3 base campaign. The Hell Knights, the Bruisers, and the Archviles are all introduced sooner, which feels threatening by itself, but at least you're equipped with the right weaponry for the occasion. So the player arrives in Hell at around the 40-minute mark, and there are 2 levels set in Hell that look incredible. This might be a controversial opinion, but the Lost mission has the best depiction of Hell out of any Doom 3 campaign. I love the wide open arena that you get to run around and fight the demons in, and as the level goes on, the arenas get more and more claustrophobic. This is a nice touch by the designers, and these little buildings at the beginning make Hell feel like it's actually inhabited, which is a fucking creepy thought. There is no shortage of Hell Knights in Hell, which makes sense due to their fucking name, and it seems like they went all out with these Hell levels. They strike a perfect balance of making Hell feel gothic and creepy, but they also fulfill that classic interpretation of Hell that people have in their minds. Some of the doors and enemy spawns are a little finicky in these Hell levels, which is kind of annoying, but that's only a minor gripe. In general though, Hell in the Lost mission is very well done, and it's one of the best versions of Hell out of any Doom game to me. Sure, the earlier UAC levels were more or less copied and pasted from the base campaign, but Hell feels entirely fresh. The boat ride in Hell before you get up to the final boss is awesome, and while yes, the boss is a disappointing one, that's kinda par for the course with Doom 3. Am I the only one, by the way, that typically doesn't enjoy boss fights in FPS games? They stress me out more than anything, especially if the checkpoint system between boss phases is not that great. With that said, the Lost mission is severely underrated, and to be fair, it doesn't reinvent the wheel in the slightest, but that's what I kinda love about it. This is a crash course into Doom 3, and with it being packaged inside the BFG Edition, a Doom 3 release that was intended to introduce new FPS fans or console gamers to the Doom series, this Lost mission does a pretty decent job at that. What do you think about the Lost mission? I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything, but it definitely has some good moments, and if I want to play some Doom 3 without all the setup, I'd either play Resurrection of Evil or Lost mission. Regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.
What do I know? Spend a night hitchhiking, where will I go? I can fly with my eyes closed, but it get kinda hard to see, it's no surprise though. I ain't hiding, I don't know my feet when I be blind.